Hello there. I'm recording this video to show you how you could use two interesting artifacts that we're working on together at the moment to resolve support requests overall. Now I chose three different support cases from the queue. I was choosing them very carefully in the sense that they had to have specific properties to be applicable for the guide that I'm going to show you. Moreover, the artifacts that I'm going to show you are not in any way finished, but I just wanted to suggest how, in which direction we're moving. So at times I will warn you, you will need to use your imagination. Moreover, if you see that something is unclear at a certain stage, feel free to let us know. Actually, this is the perfect moment to give you feedback to us. So the idea behind this video is to show you the artifacts in action, and then to collect feedback to make sure that we're progressing in the right direction. It's very crucial that we know which steps are missing, which steps are unclear. So with that kind of introduction, I would like to begin. So two artifacts I've mentioned are called the troubleshooting log template, or the troubleshooting log overall, and the sync process description, sync process diagram, and so on. So I would like to try and go through three cases and use these two tools to troubleshoot the cases. So first of all, okay, I'm taking the case EASE23310, and for that I'll create a copy from this template. I will call it troubleshooting log, or EASE23310 troubleshooting log. I don't need the template. I'll make a copy. That should finish, and that isn't hard. All right. Next thing, I'm going to go to the case and apply the first question to it. So first question is, what does the customer experience? What does the customer see? Or in any way try and understand what's the grievance of the customer. So here the customer says, sync not working from Azure to Jira, however not back. All right, so even from the summary, I can already say that the customer has Azure DevOps and Jira. So immediate question is cloud or on-prem? We don't know, we'll see. So let's see. So if I take a look immediately into the reporter and the organizations, it's called Transfer Solutions. Okay, a quick way to know if Transfer Solutions is something on cloud or not is going to the node manager and looking for Transfer Solutions. And wow, I do see an Azure DevOps and Jira Cloud. So Jira Cloud, okay, I can already note that down. Jira Cloud. I can even note down what are the nodes so that I don't need to go and look it up again. All right, good. So I know what are we talking about. So what the customer says is sync working from Azure to Jira, however not back. So if we look then into this description, it means when they synchronize, well, the picture I'm building inside my head is they synchronize an issue from ADO to Jira, and that succeeds. Or I don't know, I can put something like this? No. Trying to use emojis and I'm failing at it. Already should be. No. This one? Okay. Well. Okay, I'll just show succeeds. Oh, that's not what I wanted to draw. There we are. But Jira to ADO fails. All right. Let's see what is the problem then. Then the customer says, I'm testing out your software for a use case in company. I can get my sync to work from Azure to Jira. All right, so that's what I said. Yes. But not the way back. We are IT company, a lot of clients. Okay, I'm testing how stuff works, and so like from purely technical part, what the customer said so far is this works, this doesn't work. Well, okay, then immediate question that I get is, well, what is the problem? Like, how does he know that it succeeds fully to synchronize? Is it creating the issue? Is it making all the updates that you're doing in that direction? And how does he know that it fails? So, does it successfully synced what is meant? Is it finishing all the syncs in the queue ADO to Jira, or is just the first sync the issue getting created while the status is still progress? We'll need to answer those questions, and then finally, when it fails, what does the customer mean by saying yeah, can get my sync to work, but not the way back? So immediately, if we look into the rest, it says this is the issue: impact, error type, unexpected error. So if we see the word error and it's structured like this, immediately what I understand is, okay, the problem is that when syncing from ADO to Jira, the sync is blocked with an error. All right. Very well. That's interesting. Let's see on which side is the error, and so like with an error. Immediate questions that you get: on which side is the error? Let's see. So from the information that we see here, we see that the local entity has a number, while the remote entity has a Jira issue key. So we always know that the error is appearing on the same side as well, where it is caused. So basically, the side which has the local entities as numbers, but the remotes are Jira keys. So if the remote instance is Jira, then the error happens on ADO. All right. Those are still open questions. Yeah. So those are all good things. All right, let's continue investigating. What do we see further on? So okay, we get an error on ADO, but then yeah, when synchronizing from Jira to ADO. All right, so then apparently this is on incoming synchronization. There is a problem. Okay. So if I start reading into it, there's a bunch of stuff. Interestingly enough, the error message itself says generate an XLA support zip file and contact support. Do we have a support zip file? Of course we don't. All right. Fine, fair enough. Let's look into further details. So it says, yeah, there's a bug. It comes from the request processor service, So whenever we see the word request processor, request worker, request, we need to think about sync requests. Okay, so stack trace mentions requests, that means incoming sync. Pausing. That was bad. All right, that's good. All right, request processor. All right, what else? It's then there's a bunch of things that are not X8 specific. Scala, Akka, Scala, Akka, Java base, Java, null pointer. Okay, that's interesting. There is a null pointer whenever we're trying to concat URL parts when getting work item from project. Okay, so there's yeah. Let's see. Java. So just from the stack trace, I can see that ADO tries to get work item for project and fails to calculate or concat, so join together URL parts for something. All right. Okay. Let's look further on. So there is some synchronization information, which is all good, but basically the problem is you're starting to synchronize from Jira, it gets to ADO, it's in the incoming sync queue, and then at a certain moment it tries to get a work item of the ADO side, and then things are falling apart. All right. Well, so we know now where we are. What is the current situation? We know that there is a Jira, there's an ADO. On the outgoing queue of the Jira, there should be a sync event, which is waiting for response. And on the ADO side, it's the incoming sync is getting blocked with an error. Okay, so sync starts from Jira, gets delivered to the incoming queue of ADO, and ADO is failing, well, ADO node is failing to process that incoming sync because of what? URL calculation. All right, so now all we need to understand is, okay, at which point are we trying to calculate it in the synchronization process and how things are going. Good. One step of the troubleshooting done. We know the situation. Next, which process is involved? Is this the configuration, installation, or synchronization? So installation meaning, is the customer failing to reach the well, just get the Xalate app on installed, or not. It's not the installation, because we are talking already about trying to synchronize something. Configure, is customer just trying to reach the user interface to do something, publish connections or whatever, and failing there? No, the customer has configured already a connection and is already synchronizing. So it's sync. All right, that's very well. So then we will be looking into the synchronization process and to diagram into details how the synchronization process is working, and we'll figure out which state could it be and what should we expect and so on. Now, okay, the interesting part, which step of the process and on which side is it failing, or which is responsible for this behavior? Okay, let's start digging. So synchronization process diagram. This diagram is supposed to help you looking through the entire synchronization process from various ways to begin it and until the very end, until everything becomes synchronized, and then allows you to imagine like what it should be versus what it is right now. So okay, let me just show you the diagram through. So usually you can begin synchronization in Xalate in various ways. So for instance, you could use the sync panel to start synchronizing an issue, or you could use the triggers bulk Xalate, or just the trigger event to be synchronized. Or finally, you could start synchronizing with an operation. Before you begin, you will have nothing in the sync queue, and the sync panel would actually show that the issue is not synchronized on both sides. So then, once that you really start the process, what will happen is that you will see that immediately the sync panel starts to say that synchronization is in progress on the side A where you started the exhalation procedure. On the side B, you will see still nothing being changed. Depending on the platform, it would get through the first status, different first status. So for instance, in the Jira on-premise, you will see the assign number status, and in all the other Xalates, you will see ready status, for instance. So next to that status on the Jira on-premise, you will see ready, and for all the platforms, ready is the first status, and that's what you are going to see. Still, the sync panel is in progress, and the status is ready. You move on to send request. As soon as send request is processed, you would see that on the side B, you would see that there is an incoming synchronization appeared. So like the effect of the send request status of the source side is this. So a small intervention for this case, are we in this kind of are we on the ready state? Well, if we were on the ready state of the Jira Jira side, then on ADO we wouldn't have anything in the queue, meaning that we wouldn't be processing the request, we wouldn't be having the error. So no, it cannot be like either of these steps. So they worked successfully, and we are somewhere already past that. We could be that the source side is still on the sending, or we could be on some other step. Let's see further. So receiving blobs state. So if you have if the issue that you're synchronizing has attachments, you would see that it isn't processing anything. It's really not trying to do anything for the issue until it synchronized fully all the attachments. And we'll see that at a certain point on the source side, so after the send request, you would see that there is an additional attachment synchronization or synchronizations, depending on the number of attachments that appear on the source side sync queue. The synchronization is still in progress, and on the target side, you would see that there are that the synchronization is in receiving blob state. At a certain moment, the source side request, so after going through send blobs, it gets into the waiting for response state, and at that point in time, you will see that the synchronization panel on the source side says it's waiting for remote, and on the target side, you will see that there is an incoming sync, and probably you'll see something else happening in the outgoing attachments. Let's follow the attachment synchronization. So if I switch over to the attachments tab, I'll see that there is an attachment synchronization that starts from the ready state, and there are no attachment synchronizations on the receiving side yet. So from the ready, attachment synchronization goes to send blob request, and once that the send blob request succeeds, you will see that there's a blob request or incoming attachment synchronization on the target side. So for the same attachment, XLE PNG, 3 kilobytes, everything, it's the same. So going through the motions, you will see that after the send blob request, it goes to publish blob if needed, and the target's blob request is going to receive blob, then waiting for blob response on the source side and target send blob response, and finally blob processed on the source side and blob processed on the receiving side. As soon as it's processed, you will see that on the target side, if all the attachments for this synchronization were processed, they are removed from the incoming queue. And on the source side, it's staying on the processed state until the very end. Okay, so as soon as all the attachment synchronizations for the incoming sync are finished, you will see that the incoming synchronization itself gets to the ready status on the target side, and you would see that on the source side nothing pretty much changes. It's still on waiting for response, waiting for remote in the sync panel, and the outgoing attachment is still in blob processed. What happens then is that the waiting for response on the source side is going to be there for a really long while on the target side, it finally goes from the ready status into create issue status, where it's supposed to actually create a local issue. All right, we're heading somewhere interesting. So the source side is still waiting for response, but the target side, after it successfully creates the issue, it goes through add link state, which usually actually doesn't do anything for most of the cases. But for some issue trackers, it would actually update some custom fields inside the issue tracker to point to the remote issue. Then we move on to the create replica status on the target side, which would be responsible for creating a replica, which will be sent back as a response to the source side. Finally, we see that the synchronization passes from the create replica if it succeeds and goes to create or update twin trace to have some information created. And interestingly enough, at that point, a sync panel appears on the target side, and we see that synchronization is in progress. Interestingly enough as well, unlike on the source side, you will also see already a sync link, because we know because of which issue from the source side this issue was synchronized. So going on from the create or update twin trace, the target side goes to send response, and something interesting is going to happen. You remember this waiting for response on the source side? Well, after the send response on the target side, we will see that the synchronization is finally moving on to the response ready on the source side. And I can see some things have moved around my beautiful diagram, so I'll need to manage them. And of course I'm failing in doing that straight away. No, and I'll move them. I want to also add those things, of course, and move them somewhere here. Alright, we'll manage all the rest as well. Yes, and then this one isn't mattering. So after the send response, depending on the configuration, you might see the trigger sync event status. Finally, once that on the target and on the source side, you will see response ready and the sync panel turning to in progress back again. And all right, we've got some very good news. On the target side, it goes through complete status and finally to processed. On the source side, once that it receives the response, adds the link, it goes to update TwinTrace status. And finally, it goes to processed, and on the target side, it's removed, and you will see as soon as you have no synchronization for an issue, you would see that the sync panel is showing synchronized. Finally, once on the source side, it's also removed from the queue. After the process status, you will also see synchronized. Happy story of a synchronization. So these are all the stages for public-to-public sync, how it would go. Of course, for this particular case, we don't have the support zips yet, we don't have access to the customer's environment directly to know, okay, at which stage did the synchronization fail. So we have to ask for additional information to know at which step is it failing. Asking for access to environments to know the current state. For access or support zips. Alright. Yeah. Access to environments / support zips to know the current state. There we are. Good, that was EASE 23310. Let's apply the same troubleshooting steps to another case. EASE 23285. Troubleshooting log. Make a copy. Let's start. I'm excited. So, I have a copy. What does the customer experience? Says unexpected error on Jira side sync. So, okay, immediately what we can say is customer has Jira cloud or on-premise. Let's see. It's Roderick Stevens from DXC, and actually we see a support zip which says JCloud node. So we can easily cross out. What? Ow, that was wrong. Put it back here. Right. Oh, that's good. We know that it's Jira Cloud. All right, so the customer has Jira Cloud, and I can also say that it's DXC. Let's try and find DXC. No, let's then take it from the support zip itself. So the support zip would show me the JCloud general settings. This is the table which stores which is the Jira installed into it. We can see that the Xlate URL is HTTP everything sext. Alright, let's find it. Let's also mark it DXC. Q Digital, that's the name of it. All right, awesome. So we have the node. All right. So they have Jira. All right. Incoming sync from Azure DevOps to Jira, failing with unexpected error. Okay, that's a very short sentence which explains a lot. Has Jira Cloud and Azure DevOps. And actually, I could even know which DevOps is it. It's the NMFE everything. Okay. Copy that. All right. Ooh. Okay. DXC. We could do that, and then we could search for DXC, and we've got. All right. All right. So we have these guys. We could also mark them with a case, whatever. That's fine. Okay. So it says incoming sync from Azure to Jira. So we know that there's. I can also point out Azure DevOps, and then I can say sync from ADO to Jira, fails, or yeah, whatever, fails, blocked with an error, unexpected error. All right, let's have a closer look into this. I have commented out all the code bar, the basic fields, and it's still failing. Attach the support zip. All right. So I already downloaded the support zip. Let's have a look into it. So the support zip is from the Jira side, right? Yeah, it's towards the Jira. It's blocked on Jira. So like I would expect the error to be there. And the error says there's, well, we have multiple errors, so we have like a warning, and we have some we have issue level errors. All right, so like the warning is not blocking any sync, it will be retried again and again, while the issue is more problematic. All right, so we have the error. Let's have a look at the stack trace, what's happening there. So it says, yeah, there's a bug. Unexpected situation, like we don't have a good handling for this kind of scenario. All right, we have request process service. Okay, that means what? That means that we have incoming sync that's failing. And well, we actually already knew it from the previous statements, but still worth mentioning. Means incoming sync for Jira. Why for Jira? Because I took it from the support zip of Jira, right? So in stack trace of Jira support zip means incoming sync for Jira is failing. All right, let's see further on. So yes, we know that. So then there's a bunch of Scala, Akka, Scala, Akka, Java base. Not interesting. That's like mechanics of it, boilerplate stuff. Boxed error, Scala, create replica processor. All right, create replica processor is something interesting. We could already work with that. That's additional information. So that means in stack trace means in outgoing sync script is failing. All right, that's already interesting. So like it's not the incoming sync script, it's the outgoing sync script that's failing. All right, what is failing about it? Well, it says not implemented error. All right, as an implementation is missing. Okay, something is attempted to be used, but it's not implemented. All right. Let's look further. So like bug, we'll know. So it says, okay, some Scala, then says node helper strip HTML. Okay, node helper. That's like a public API. All right. So we're saying node helper. Someone is using node helper in what? In the outgoing sync script. All right, so node helper strip HTML is apparently not supported for Jira Cloud. Let's see. In the docs, is this the case? Strip HTML. Supported for Azure DevOps, GitHub, HPLM, Salesforce, but not Jira Cloud. Okay. Is not supported on Jira Cloud. Wow, that's a finding. Okay, so let's have another look into what's the customer experiencing. So we see that there's a synchronization from Azure DevOps to Jira, and in the Jira side we see an error like this, and the error so far says that while running the outgoing sync script on the Jira side, the customer is using the node helper strip HTML in the outgoing sync script. All right, for which connection is the error? The error is for connection number 1 with ID 1. Okay, let's open up the connection number 1. We go to the relation table and we find the connection with ID 1. Of course, that's the one. And then we need to find the outgoing sync script, which is this thing. Okay, and if we look into the script, look at this. There's node helper strip HTML inside the Jira support zip, which is unsupported. So we can immediately say that their outgoing sync script uses, maybe I need to like tabulate it or something, which is not supported on Jira Cloud. Actually, the case is already solved, and I don't need to pass this, but just for the sake of the experiment, I will show you. So again, this is a sync problem. It's not about the installation that's failing or the configuration of it. Well, I mean, they successfully configured it, bravo, but then the synchronization failed. All right, so it's sync. And if we look into the sync process, how did that go? So we know that, So we know that the synchronization was going from ADO to Jira, okay, and then on the Jira side, we are stopped at the create replica. So when we're trying to run the outgoing sync script, when would we do that in the synchronization process? Let's just check. So we should be looking at the target side, at the receiving side. When does the receiving side run the replica creation? Let's see. So not here, because we don't even have, okay, receiving blobs. Is it running the outgoing sync script? No. Receiving blobs, no, not running anything. Receiving blobs, no. Ready, no, checks the license. Create issue, could be, let's, we should inspect. But then also add link, is it? Probably not, it's probably not running the create replica. Does create replica state on the incoming sync do the replica creation? Very possible. Let's have a look at the incoming sync queue. So like my expectation from the diagram is that on the incoming side, in the sync request table, I will see it in like create issue or create replica status. So somewhere out there, we should see something interesting. Let's have a look. So sync request and Bob's your uncle. I've got some incoming synchronization in the create replica status. More specifically, let's have a look for the issue. So the error itself looking at the right one. Yes. So the error itself suggests that the unexpected error was occurring. So yeah, when running the create replica. Oh, what was I looking for? Yes, I wanted to know for which issue it's happening. So we have the issue, which is TSP 525 and TSP 533. Let's have a look at the remote replica. Remote replica for it. 241 and 242. Let's have a look at the replica table. 241, 242. 241. We're looking 5688. That's the remote one. And 242, 5688 as well. In the create replica status. How about that? So we know that both of these synchronizations, if I look into the error table again, I'll see that the remote issues 5, let's see, remote issue ID, remote issue URN 56888, 5688. So yes, those are the replicas for 5688 issue, remote issue, are these 241 and 242, and they are on the create replica state. So we're talking about these transactions that were failing. Let's also check. I think the error should be even referencing the sync request ID if it's failing. Where are we? That's relation, that's error. Do we have the sync request ID? Stack trace, sync event, sync request ID, 75 and 74. Let's have a look. 75 and 74. Actually 75 and 74 here. 74 is create replica and 75 is, weirdly enough, 75. Yeah, it's 75. It's on notify request received. Is that correct? Okay, that's weird. But on create replica state, we have the thing. Good. So we found out at which step is the synchronization process interrupted. So here we didn't, because of this step failing, we don't get any further in the synchronization. So then we can drill down into that particular state and look into like what is involved into it and so on and know what's happening. But in reality, we already found the reason. We know that it failed because this function is not supported. So which step of the process, which side? Jira side, create replica status of incoming sync for Jira is failing because of this. All right, we've got two cases figured out. Let's check the last one. Okay, again, file, make a copy. Maybe I should really make it nice. Make a copy. Ease 2323, and I don't see anything else. 0. It's not template anymore. I make a copy. Let's go, amigo. All right. So, what do we see? What does the customer experience? So X8 connections not working properly. Okay. So X8 connections means installation is out of the question. It could be already either the configure or sync. We'll figure out. We'll see what is it. we're facing issues with respect to XLA connection between some projects in production instance. The problem is when an issue is created in one project, it should get created and synced with the associated project. But the issue is that it isn't getting created in the respective project. Instead, it is getting created in the project which is not relevant to the XLate connection. Okay, funny stuff. So we see that the process that's involved is the sync. So they are synchronizing, and while the synchronizing is happening, it's created in a different project than mentioned. So they mention that they have connection between some projects in the production instance. So between project in the instance, I would say we have a Jira. We'll see if it's cloud or on-prem shortly. Local connection. Let's see. Good news is we have a support tip, and support tip doesn't mention JCloud, so it's a Jira on-premise. It's a Jira on-premise. All right. Let's see, which Jira on-premise are you? So when we're looking into the Jira on-premise, we have the well, some things like the general settings and such. We'll see. So it's a Jira on-premise. All right. Let's see. It's a local sync. So that's my thinking. It's a local sync. So if it's a local sync, I should see is local true for the connection. Actually, I can see that all of the connections for the customer are local. Okay. Yeah, so like I didn't even need to scroll. What I could have done quick filter, and I see that all of them are true. Quick other deal. I should really quit this guy and delete all the markings, because then it's too many windows. All right, so we know it's a local synchronization. Good. Local. And actually, also interesting, if it's a local synchronization, we should have in the node info even the URL. It's jiraburgo.com. All right, local. Good. Oh no, good. What's happening? So they say project A to project B succeeds, or to C succeeds while configured to sync to project B. Okay, so the customer claims that this is the case. Let's finish the reading, and then we'll figure out all the rest. When an issue is created, it should get created and synced with the associated project. It should get created and synced with associated, but the issue is that it's getting, okay. All right, so the customer says it should get created and, okay. So immediate questions is incoming sync. So like in the incoming sync script, we are usually configuring towards which project we're syncing. Or is it maybe visual connection and then mapping, scope mapping? We'll see. Okay, is it a visual connection? That's an easy way to figure out. So like we know it's a local connection. Let's have a closer look at, yeah, that's fine. All right. If I take a look at the relation, is it a visual connection? Description, field values. I'm looking at field values. It's empty, local instance, empty, local instance, local instance, local instance, local instance, local instance. So what I'm looking for is mode configure both sides. If there is no mode configured both sides, then it's not. There's no mode in the field values, so I should say no mode configure both sides in field values, not a visual connection. All right, that's removed. So it has to be in the incoming sync. The incoming sync controls towards which project is it synced. All right. So it should get created and synced with the associated project. So which is the associated project? Which is the associated project? Well, first we don't know which connection. Well, let's continue reading. Yeah, it's creating in the project which is unassociated. The problem occurs randomly. I have attachment screenshots of the error. Please help us on this to resolve. Okay, so they say they have an attachment. Ooh. And yeah, okay, nice. The error is unclear. Okay, I need to stop the video here. We'll continue next.